I'd like to call the second meeting of the month to order. Can you call the roll, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Newell?
Present.
Trustee Palafis?
Present.
Trustee Stanton?
Present.
Trustee Gator?
Present.
Trustee Arnett?
Present.
Trustee Mills?
Present.
Mayor McLeod?
Present. Can everybody please rise? Trustee Newell, you want to lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Trustee Newell. Move on to recognition of the audience. This is the time if someone has a question or concern for an item that's not on the agenda. Now's the time to come forward. Going once, twice, three times and move on. Chair to accept a motion to approve the minutes of the February 4th, 2019 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion, a second. Any additions or corrections to these minutes? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Roll
Oh,
call.
I got a roll call, that's right. Trustee Gate is calling in, so he will be called first, and every vote's going to be a roll call vote. Okay. You got it, Mike? Okay.
Got it.
There was an aye.
Yeah, Trustee Gator?
Present.
No.
How about aye?
Aye.
There we go. Trustee Newell? Aye. Trustee Palafis?
Aye.
Trustee Stanton?
Aye.
Trustee Arnett?
Aye.
Trustee Mills?
Aye.
Mayor McLeod?
Aye, motion carried. Move on to consent agenda, omnibus vote. Is there a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
There's a motion, a second on the omnibus vote. The items included in this are A, the approval of the agenda, B, approval of the schedule of bills for February 18th, 2019, in the amount of $5,207,550.49. C, request board approval of an ordinance amending section 6-2-1-HE-11-801.1, right turns prohibited of the Hoffman Estates Municipal Code, Eisenhower Junior High School. D, request board approval of a resolution supporting the Northwest Municipal Conference 2019 legislative program and the 2019 Illinois Municipal League State Federal Legislative Agenda. E, request board approval of a supplement to the engineering contract with Trans Systems, Inc. for additional Phase 1 and 2 service on the Shoe Factory Road I-90 bicycle and pedestrian project in an amount not to exceed $60,831. We do have a motion, a second. Any questions on any of these items? Seeing none, can you pull the board, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Gator?
Aye.
Trustee Newell?
Aye.
Trustee Palafis?
Aye.
Trustee Stanton?
Aye.
Trustee Arnett?
Aye.
Trustee Mills?
Aye.
Mayor McLeod?
Aye, motion carried. Move on to President's report. We do have a couple of things here. On February 11th, 2019, the International City Council Management Association honored outstanding mentors for their leadership and commitments to advancing the local government profession. Both Jim Norris, village manager, and Dan O'Malley, deputy village manager, were named as top five award recipients, recognized this year for their commitment to mentoring the next generation of local government leaders. Both Jim and Dan were part of the exceptional group of nominees and embodied the qualities and characteristics of great mentors, committed to the growth of their mentees and the local government professions by providing guidance and feedback, listening and acting as a sounding board, sharing knowledge and expertise, instilling confidence and integrity and more. A great recognition for them and for the village. Nicely done, Dan. We do have a couple of presentations. We have one from the Cook County Board. And this is Cook County Board of Commissioners, Honorable Tony Preckwinkle, President. A resolution of the Board of Commissioners, sponsored by Honorable Kevin B. Morrison, Cook County Board of Commissioners, honoring the Hoffman Estates Veterans Memorial Commission. Whereas the Hoffman Estates Veterans Memorial was dedicated on November 12, 1988, to honor in perpetuity the deceased veterans who have served our country and preserved our freedom. And whereas the Veterans Memorial consists of 5 granite monoliths arranged in a semicircle. Each monolith is engraved with the symbol of one of the branches of the military. Whereas the Hoffman Estates Veterans Memorial Commission manages the weekly flag rotation ceremony and participates in community events. Whereas the Veterans Memorial flag rotation ceremony has occurred every Sunday afternoon at the Veterans Memorial since the dedication of the memorial in 1988 while missing a week. Whereas the Veterans Memorial flag rotation ceremony honors the memory each week of a veteran that fought honorably for our country. Whereas the Veterans Memorial has has a display case with the name, rank, branch of service, and dates of service of the deceased veteran being honored are listed. The veteran's casket flag flies on the main flagpole, while the service flag flies at half-mast above the monolith representing the veteran's branch of service. Whereas commissioners of the Hoffman Estates Veterans Memorial Commission and veteran organizations, including the American Legion Post 1983 and VFW Post 5151, are responsible for conducting the weekly ceremony. Whereas the American Legion Post 1983 and Veteran of Foreign Wars Post 5151 contribute greatly to supporting veterans and their families with a variety of programming and resources. Now therefore be resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Cook County hereby honor the members of the Hoffman Estates Veterans Memorial Commission, the American Legion Post 1983, and VFW Post 5151 for their participation in the weekly flag rotation ceremony and continued service of fellow veterans. Be it therefore further resolved that a suitable copy be prepared and presented to the Hoffman Estates Veteran Memorial Commission, the American Legion Post 1983, and VFW Post 5151 to thank them for their dedication to honoring fallen service members and contributing to their community. Approved and adopted 11th day of December 2018. Kevin B. Morrison, Commissioner 15th District. Tony Preckle, President, Cook County Board of Commissioners. Very nice. Can we make sure this is posted, Mr. O'Malley? And we do have a proclamation, Madam Clerk. Who has that? Gary?
Thank you. Whereas in the United States, the third full week of February is National Engineers Week, it is observed by more than 70 engineering, education, and cultural societies in more than 50 corporations and government agencies. And whereas engineers as professional practitioners within the STEM field who use scientific knowledge, mathematics, and ingenuity to solve technical, societal, and commercial problems, and whereas engineers are at the center of innovation, from increasing a person's life expectancy and quality of life to creating and improving the communication systems that keep us all connected. And whereas engineers are changing the world all of the time, they dream up creative, practical solutions and work with other smart, inspiring people to invent, design, and create things that matter. And whereas engineering is a versatile degree, more than half of the people who have an engineering degree work in other areas like medicine, law, investment banking, and counseling, prompting many experts to call engineering the new liberal arts degree. And whereas engineers face the major technological challenges of our time, from rebuilding towns devastated by natural disaster, strengthening and improving critical infrastructure, cleaning up the environment, and assuring safe, clean, and efficient sources of energy, to designing information systems that will speed our country into the future. Be it therefore resolved that William D. McLeod, acting under and by the virtue of the authority vested in him by the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and laws of this village of Hoffman Estates, hereby proclaims February 17th to the 23rd of 2019 as National Engineers Week in the village of Hoffman Estates, and hereby encourages all citizens, government agencies, businesses, leaders, hospitals, schools, and public and private institutions in the village of Hoffman Estates to promote awareness of engineering practices and educational opportunities.
Chair will accept the motion.
So moved.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion on this? We do appreciate the great work that our engineers do. Can you pull the board, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Gata.
Aye.
Trustee Newell.
Aye.
Trustee Palafis.
Aye.
Trustee Stanton.
Aye.
Trustee Arnett.
Aye.
Trustee Mills.
Aye.
Mayor McLeod.
Aye, motion carried. Mr. Copland, will you accept this on behalf of the Engineering Department? Yes, sir. Thank you. I do have one appointment this evening. That's Monica Savidra to be the chair of the Complete Count Census Committee. Chair would accept a motion.
So moved. Second.
There's a motion, a second. Any discussion? See no discussion. Can you pull the board, Madam Clerk?
Whoops. Trustee Gata.
Aye.
Trustee Newell.
Aye.
Trustee Palafis.
Aye.
Trustee Stanton.
Aye.
Trustee Arnett.
Aye.
Trustee Mills.
Aye.
Mayor McLeod.
Aye, motion carried. This past week on the 13th, I had the opportunity to speak before the National Honor Society at Conant High School. 250 members. They have a big national honor society, and they're a service group, too. They do a lot of volunteering in the community. Later that day, we had the Valentine's Day Luncheon, always a great event for our senior citizens. On Thursday, the February 14th, a few of us were able to go to Alden Poplar Creek for the Valentine's Day party and crown the king and queen. On Saturday, I had the sad responsibility to attend a wake for Bernice Catherine, who was a longtime neighbor of mine when I lived on Topaz, a wonderful lady, 93 years old. And she's volunteered at the Holy Family and in a lot of other areas just until recently. Then later that afternoon, we had the Black History Month celebration, the Cultural Awareness Commission. And on Sunday, we had the Blue and Gold crossover ceremony at the Spring Valley Nature Center in a log cabin. That's all I have for right now. We'll move on to trustee comments. I'll start with trustee Newell.
Okay, on the 10th, we had the Blue and Gold Cub Scout Pack 297. And on the 16th, as the mayor had mentioned, the Black History Month celebration, which was very well attended. Some awesome art creations that we saw, which was really nice to see. On the 17th, as the mayor had mentioned, trustee Arnett and the mayor, and we were out in the woods somewhere in a cabin, and one-lane road to find it. But we found it. We were there with Bambi and I think Yogi Bear somewhere. But it was interesting. So that's all I have.
Okay. Trustee Gata.
I'll have my, I'll do it next week.
Okay, sounds good. Trustee Palafis.
I just want to, again, congratulate Dan and Jim on their mentoring award. Well done. I think we should post it on the website and the newsletter, to
Oh, definitely.
let everybody know. So the Herald had a great article. And I just think it's really great that the group of mentors got together. The backstory here on this is, and they nominated those guys without really letting them know. I just think that's awesome. They conspired, that's right, for a good thing. And that's all for me.
Okay. Trustee Bills.
On February 7th, along with Mayor McLeod, I was able to be one of the judges for the Employee Healthy Eating Contest here, held at Village Hall, and it was a great experience. A lot of good food was put together by our various employees. Hard to make a decision of who was better, and they all were great. On the 11th, I attended the Hoffman Estates Foundation meeting, held here at the Village Hall. 13th, also at the Seniors Luncheon, thanks to the Senior Commission for another great event. On the 16th, also was at the Black History Celebration. It was kind of cute. One of my granddaughters was picked to be a volunteer to help read part of the history of why there is a Black History Month. And as nervous as she was, she did a great job. And it was interesting. I always wondered why Black History Month was February and not January. You would think with Martin Luther King and everything. It's because of Abraham Lincoln's birthday being in February, that was why they decided to have it in that month. So it was very interesting and well attended. Compliments to the commission that put that together, to cultural awareness. And congratulations also to Mr. Norris and Mr. O'Malley. Great recognition that you both deserve. That's it. Thank you.
Hey, Trustee Stanton.
Thank you. On the 5th of February, the mayor and I and Mr. Norris had a meeting with the Barrington Square people as they're interested in doing something with the Menards property there. On the 6th of February, had a meeting here with the mayor and with Hoffman High School baseball coach regarding support of his program and involvement in the community. He passed out a few T-shirts and hats, and Dan, you were able to collect one of each, correct?
I cashed in, yes.
As a graduate of Hoffman High, it's very
That's
appropriate.
right. Then on the 10th of February, I was able to attend the PAC 297 Blue and Gold ceremony. On the 13th of February, I was here at the Valentine's Luncheon, sponsored by our Senior Citizens Commission, and as always, they always put on a good show and have a great dinner, or lunch, I guess I should say. On the 14th, I had a meeting here with the mayor and Mr. Norris. We all talked to Senator Ann Gillespie and her chief of staff regarding things that were of importance to us here at the village and see whether or not we can get something done down in Springfield. On the 14th also, I was with the mayor at Alden Poplar Creek. We passed out Valentines to the seniors, And also on the 16th, then, I was able to attend the Black History Month celebration. And I want to thank the Cultural Awareness Commission. They certainly put on a very vibrant program.
Thank you, trustee Stan. Trustee Arnett.
Thank you. Also on February 10th, I did attend the Blue and Gold ceremony for PAC 297 at Poplar Creek Bowl, and they had quite a few kids that were turning over. And then also on the 17th, I also attended the Blue and Gold ceremony for PAC 399 out in Timbuktu there. Congratulations to Mr. O'Malley and Mr. Norris, and also a belated happy anniversary to Mayor McLeod and his wife, Tony.
Very good.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Okay, we'll move on to village manager's report. Anything, Manager O'Malley?
No report, Mayor.
Okay, move on to village clerk's report.
No report.
Okay, move on to E, treasurer's report. There's a request for deferral. The chair would accept a motion for deferral.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion second for a deferral. Any discussion? Seeing none, can you call the roll, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Gata.
Aye.
Trustee Newell.
Aye.
Trustee Palafis.
Aye.
Trustee Stanton.
Aye.
Trustee Arnett.
Aye.
Trustee Mills.
Aye.
Mayor McLeod.
Aye, motion carried. That report is deferred. Move on to F, committee reports, finance. Trustee Palafis.
Yes, sir. On February 25th, 2019, at 7 PM sharp, we will call to order the Finance Committee. We will begin by doing a roll call, followed by an approval of minutes from January 28th meeting, 2019. We have one item under new business, which is a discussion regarding use of Village Hall meeting rooms. We have our three reports, which are information only, which are the Finance Department Monthly Report, Information Systems Department Monthly Report, and the Sears Center Monthly Report, which we will accept and receive and file. Then we have the President's Report. Anything in other that anybody wants to approach the committee on? No items in review, and we will adjourn.
Thank you, Trustee Palafis. Public Works and Utilities, Trustee Newell.
Okay, immediately following the Finance Committee, we will have the Public Work and Utility Committee on February 25th, 2019. We'll have a roll call, approval of minutes from January 28, 2019, and under new business, we have 5 items. Item number 1 is request approval for the Historical Sites Commission to proceed with 2019 budgeted activities and events in an amount not to exceed $800. Item number 2, request authorization to waive bidding and award contract for Village Hall HVAC automation system upgrade to Automated Logic Chicago, which is out of Lisle, Illinois, in an amount not to exceed $36,555. Item number 3 is request authorization to extend 2017 contracts for 2019 season Parkway Tree Planting Program, which are the low bids, to A, Acres Group out of Wakanda, Illinois, and B, St. Aubin Nursery out of Kirkland, Illinois, in a total amount not to exceed $119,750. Item number 4, request authorization to close the existing contract and approve proposed new contract for engineering services for rehabilitation of Chippendale Sanitary Sewer Lift Station with Baxter and Woodman Engineers, B&W, out of Crystal Lake, Illinois, in an amount not to exceed $56,300. Item number 5, request authorization to waive bidding and purchase 2 new stainless steel select dump bodies, Monroe underbody plow, Monroe spreader box, pre-wet system controls and fabrication installation using Sourcewell contract discount from Monroe Truck Equipment out of Monroe, Wisconsin, in an amount not to exceed $158,640. Under reports for information only are 2. 1 is Department of Public Works Monthly Report. 2 is Department of Development Services Monthly Engineering Report of the Transportation and Engineering Division. If we have any additional for President's Report, nothing under other or items in review, and then we will adjourn.
Thank you, Trustee Newell. Trustee Gata, Public Health and Safety.
Actually, Mayor,
Yes, will you have the vice chairperson read it,
Okay, Trustee
please?
Palafis.
I was going to say I have the sheet here for Trustee Gata, who will be feeling better by February 25th, and will call to order immediately following the Public Works and Utilities Committee, the Public Health and Safety Committee. He will ask for a roll call to establish quorum, and then request approval of the minutes from the January 28th, 2019 committee meeting. He has 2 items under new business, the first being a request approval of an ordinance declaring 37 pairs of turnout pants and 46 turnout coats as surplus and authorize the sale and disposal of this equipment. Item number 2 is a request authorization to award the 2019 contract for fire department uniforms to Today's Uniform, Crystal Lake, Illinois, an amount not to exceed the current 2019 budgeted amount of $42,000. He has 4 reports that are information only, the first being Police Department Monthly Report. Second is the Health and Human Services Monthly Report. 3 is the Emergency Management Coordinator Monthly Report. And 4 is the Fire Department Monthly Report, which I'm sure one of will have a story that he'll read. And then President's Report, anything and other that somebody wants to address the committee on, no items in review, and then he will request to adjourn.
Thank you, trustee Palafis. Move on to 7, Planning and Zoning Commission report. Chairperson Combs, how are you? We got a lot of reporting to do tonight.
Yeah.
We won't.
Planning Commission recommended for approval or request by James Krockla, owner, for a variation from Section 9-3-3-C-2-C to allow for a setback distance of 1 foot for the privacy-style fence instead of the minimum setback distance of 15 feet on the property located at 340 Navajo Lane. The vote was 9 ayes, 2 absent.
Chair would accept the motion.
Move to accept.
I'll second.
There's a motion, a second for acceptance. Are there any questions from anybody up here? Any questions from anyone in the audience? Seeing none, can you pull the board, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Gata.
Aye.
Trustee Newell.
Aye.
Trustee Palafis.
Aye.
Trustee Stanton.
Aye.
Trustee Arnett.
Aye.
Trustee Mills.
Aye.
Mayor McLeod.
Aye, motion carried.
Planning and Zoning Commission recommended for approval a request by Benjamin Lake, owner, for a variation from Section 9-3-6-E to allow for a setback distance of 19 feet for a patio instead of the minimum setback distance of 30 feet on the property located at 805 Heather Lane. Vote was 9 ayes, 2 absent.
Chair will accept the motion.
Move to accept.
I'll second.
There's a motion, a second for acceptance. Any questions on this item? Trustee Stanton.
I didn't really get a good picture of how this is going to be developed in the packet. I know it's off to the side, but that's all I got. Is it like a loop or something like that?
It's a cement patio
Yeah,
in a
okay.
curve.
It's curved, okay. All right, thanks.
Anyone else have anything up here? Anyone in the audience? Seeing none, can you pull the board, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Gata.
Aye.
Trustee Newell.
Aye.
Trustee Palafis.
Aye.
Trustee Stanton.
Aye.
Trustee Arnett.
Aye.
Trustee Mills.
Aye.
Mayor McLeod.
Aye, motion carried.
Planning and Zoning Commission recommended for approval a request by Cabela's Wholesale LLC, owner, for preliminary and final plat of re-subdivision of Lot 4A5D 2A 1A in Prairie Stone, located at 5225 Prairie Stone Parkway, with 1 condition. The vote was 9 ayes, 2 absent.
Chair will accept the motion.
Move to accept.
I'll second.
There's a motion, a second. So this is just speculative on their part? They have no one who's interested in buying any one of these proposed
Right.
subdivided properties?
Right.
Okay, anybody on the board have any questions? Yes, trustee
I
Palafis.
think it's a great idea. Those parking lots are huge, and I don't think we're ever really maximized. So I like it.
And they did a parking audit by drone on the busiest days, and there was still sufficient parking.
Well, hopefully they'll get something in there. Anybody in the audience have any comments? If not, can you pull the board, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Gata.
Aye.
Trustee Newell.
Aye.
Trustee Palafis.
Aye.
Trustee Stanton.
Aye.
Trustee Arnett.
Aye.
Trustee Mills.
Aye.
Mayor McLeod.
Aye, motion carried.
Planning and Zoning Commission recommended for approval a request by Cabela's Wholesale LLC, owner, for preliminary concept site plan amendment for Cabela's located at 5225 Prairie Stone Parkway with 2 conditions. The vote was 9 ayes, 2 absent.
Chair would accept a motion.
So move.
I'll second.
There's a motion, a second. Any questions up here? Any questions to anybody in the audience? Seeing none, can you pull the board, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Gata.
Aye.
Trustee Newell?
Aye.
Trustee Palafis?
Aye.
Trustee Stanton?
Aye.
Trustee Arnett?
Aye.
Trustee Mills?
Aye.
Mayor McLeod?
Aye, motion carried.
Planning and Zoning Commission recommended for approval a request by Deshow BCM LLC owner for a preliminary and final plat of re-subdivision of Barrington Square re-subdivision number 3, located at 2250 to 2360 West Higgins Road with one condition, but was 9 ayes, 2 absent.
Chair will accept a motion.
Move to accept.
I'll second.
It's a motion, a second for acceptance. Any questions from anybody up here? Trustee Stanton?
For Lot 3, right now, that is Bono beef, correct?
Right.
All right, are they going to tear down Bono beef first before they rebuild Bono beef to the side there? Or are they going to do it at the same time?
As much as the same time as they can manage.
I mean, that's going to be a really tight fit.
Yeah.
They're planning to park further north, the people, while they're doing this as well, or?
They will have to, I would imagine.
Okay. It's going to be interesting to see how they do that.
Corporation Counsel Janur, you had something you want to bring forward?
Yeah, I might have missed it in my packet, but do we have a copy of the plat that was included? Was there a new plat that's being recommended to be approved?
It says final plat.
Look at the plat, that's right, I can see new construction, Bono restaurant, no, the big one, the big
The big
folded.
one. Yeah.
The table of contents had a title sheet, zoning analysis, architectural site plan, exterior renderings, exterior elevations, and floor plan and interior images. So it's not in the table of contents.
Do we know whether there's another plat, Mr. Kaplan? I'm sure there's a plat. Hey, just come up to the microphone. So,
I am sure there's a plat, since that was what the approval included. Perhaps petitioner can talk to this?
can I identify yourself and name and address, sir, for the record?
Hi, I'm John Haig, the architect with Haig Architecture, 418 Clinton Place, River Forest, Illinois. I believe the drawings are just bound together. So there's architectural drawings and there's civil drawings towards the back of that set.
packet?
It's in that packet. There's 2 separate submittals, I believe, in there. And they were just
Towards the
bound
back.
together.
You want to find it?
Looks like it's the last 3 pages. Art, the last 3 pages.
Okay.
It's right after the lighting photometric plan.
Yeah, I found it for you.
Okay, we found it here. Do we have signed copies of the plat now?
I would have to verify that. I don't, which is the one that you signed, Ava?
Do you know if we have signed
It's the
copies of the plat,
Cabela's.
sir?
I believe they were all signed off on previously for our submittal, yeah. I'm not 100% sure, but.
I don't know if those were, did you submit those to Jim Donahue?
Yeah.
The Mylars?
Oh, no, I think we were waiting on the approval. Isn't that part of the process to
Normally.
Well, we always require them to be
submitted or signed before
signed
the
before
Mylar?
the village board meeting.
You know what, I'm the architect. I know our watermark engineering was handling that with Jim.
Mr.
Pending.
Caruso's not here tonight?
He's out of town, unfortunately.
Yeah, identify yourself for the record, sir, name and
Record,
address.
I'm John Sigalis, Sigalos, with the Bono Companies, 6801 West Roosevelt Road in Berwyn. No, I'm not aware of any Mylars. I've been meeting with Jim Donahue regularly, going through this whole review process, and I was not, it was never brought to my attention that they wanted the Mylars for the village board meeting. I thought that would be after approval tonight.
It's our typical requirement, so I'd be surprised if he hadn't mentioned that at some point, or maybe he mentioned it directly with the surveyor.
He may have mentioned it to Watermark Engineering, who was a civil engineer, and they weren't able to attend tonight. I mean, we can get that very promptly.
Trustee Mills?
I'm going to withdraw my motion on this part of the approval of 7E and possibly ask that we do a special board meeting next Monday to,
We already
We
have.
already have one.
we have one already. Okay, we can just add it to that then.
That agenda.
All right, so that's my motion. I mean, I will withdraw my first motion, and
Second.
I'll make a new motion that would this be deferred to next Monday night.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Both of them? Yeah, we got two of them.
For all four of those, or?
Well, we could probably do the other, right?
Or do you want to do it all at once? It's up to you.
It's up to the petitioner. If he wants to just wait and do all of them next week. What's the board's? You're only worried about the plat? Want to go ahead and, can we do the final and preliminary plan amendment? You have no problem with that?
No, just the plan.
All right, so this would just be, the motion is for 7E, to defer action tonight and continue it to next Monday.
Okay, there's a motion to defer 7E until next Monday. Is there any further discussion up here? Anyone in the audience have anything they'd like to say? Chairperson Combs, you have anything you want to say?
Well, I'm just questioning if the parking lot and site changes are on the revised lot. I don't know how you can vote.
All right, then,
You know what, I just received a text from my engineer. He said Jim Donahue does have all the signed Mylars.
all right, so what do we want to do now?
So, I mean, I'm just.
Let's vote on it
just
next
letting
week
you know.
when that's confirmed.
Okay. All right, but Ms. Combs' question regarding F.
Actually, F and G. All three.
Let's just do
Let's
all
do
four.
all from next week.
All right, my motion is amended again.
My,
On E, F, G, and H,
as is my second.
This will be for next Monday night.
next Monday night.
Okay, there's a motion, a second. Any discussion on that? Anyone in the audience have anything they want to say? Seeing nothing, can you pull the board, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Gata?
Aye.
Trustee Newell?
Aye.
Trustee Palafis?
Aye.
Trustee Stanton?
Aye.
Trustee Arnett?
Aye.
Trustee Mills?
Aye.
Mayor McCall?
Aye, motion carried. That completes your business, Chairperson Combs? Yes, it does. Okay,
And it's only 7:35.
I know, it's amazing.
I made for a fast meeting.
And we get to see you next week, too.
Yeah, well, you're lucky. Move on to 8, there is no additional business, is there, Mr. Manager? No. Chair to accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second to adjourn. Any discussion on that? Can you call the roll, Madam Clerk?
Trustee Gata?
Aye.
Trustee Newell?
Aye.
Trustee Palafis?
Aye.
Trustee Stanton?
Aye.
Trustee Arnett?
Aye.
Trustee Mills?
Aye.
Mayor McCall?
Aye. Motion carried, we are adjourned.